Hi guys, it is me again, and today we are going to do something simple. This Tumbler tutorial was really fun. It was very simple, and it took me only like 2-ish days to get it done. If you are looking for a quick project, it does not have to be anything over the top. This one definitely isn't, but it's in the colors that you choose to make it your own. So this is what we're going to be making today. It is Winter Wonderland. It's upside down. It is Winter Wonderland, and I hope you guys like this tutorial. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe your thoughts about this tutorial. And here we go. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Good morning, y'all. We are going back to our original foundation of starting with the 24 Plump. Make sure, again, like I always say in every video, to make sure that you prep, sand, and alcohol clean your tumbler. We're going to go in with some ultra flat mattes or ultra matte 2-time Rusetoleum spray paint. I'm just giving this a really good mist. We are going to go in with 2 parts A and B of epoxy. This is going to be fast setting epoxy from Counterculture DIY. Love this epoxy, and it works really good. I know we're in the winter months, but it works really good in temperatures I think that are above like 70 degrees. So yeah, you want to make sure you mix it up really well. Mixing even amounts in your measuring cup. We are just going to pour that over the cup. I think I probably used about 5 to 10 mLs for this cup. I had a bunch of cups going at the same time, so I couldn't really remember what amount I was using for this one. But we're going to do about 5 to 10 mLs for this. We are going to add 2 different glitters to this tumbler today. One of them is going to be Tutti Frutti, which would be coming up in this next clip. This is going to be from Olive's Outlet. Love this glitter, super pretty. It's almost like holographic in some of the colors. But yeah, it's really, really pretty. And we're just going to take a little spoon. I did not do this with my fingers because typically I put too much on there, which I later determined that I needed to add a little bit more. Then we're going to go in with the knot. The reason why we sprinkled a Tutti Frutti over the tumbler is because we wanted to make sure that we could see some color. And if you've ever seen the knot, it is silver and white glitter, and it is very, very pretty. I absolutely love it. It's one of my go-tos from Peachy Olive. But I wanted to bring a little bit more color and vibrancy to the glitter, so that's why we added that. We're going to allow this tumbler to sit for about 15 minutes. And when I say about, I mean we're going to let it sit for 15 minutes. That's going to allow your glitter to really, not your glitter, but your epoxy to harden really well. And then we're going to go and flatten it. I promise you, if you follow these steps, you will never have an issue with working with chunky glitters. So you're going to allow your epoxy to sit for those 2 hours, and then we're going to go in with polyacrylic. You can either use polyacrylic or quick coat. Make sure that if you are using polyacrylic, it is the clear gloss and not a satin or matte finish, because that will be the finish that you will get over your tumbler. Even if you apply epoxy over it, you're still not going to get that glossy look. So just make sure you're using a gloss finish and not any other finishes. We are going to fill or cover that entire tumbler, and I went over this about 3 to 4 times before I went and added any form of epoxy. All right. Allow about 20 I'm completely wrong. Allow about an hour in between each coat of quick coat or polyacrylic before you move on to the next coat or applying any epoxy. In my case, I was able to let this sit overnight. Then we're going to go in with about two-ish more coats of epoxy. These two coats were about 10 to 15 mLs each. I sanded in between, and we had a really, really good finish to it. We are going to make sure our tumbler is measured, and you can see all the beautiful glitter on the outside. Excuse me. You can see all the beautiful glitter on the outside of the knot. We have taken our vinyl. This vinyl I will have linked below. I found the shop on Etsy. They actually found me on Instagram, followed me. I followed them back instantly when I saw what was in their Etsy shop. So I'm going to link them down below. Beautiful, beautiful vinyls. There's some new ones that she just posted recently, but we are just going to simply anchor the vinyl to the tumbler, and then we're going to squeegee it around. We're going to squeegee it around the entire tumbler and just make sure that it could lay flat completely on the tumbler and cut away any excess that we do not need. Now, I wanted this to be a peekaboo, and you're going to see in these clips coming up that I actually am using snowflakes as well as the cutout of the Winter Wonderland to offset everything so you will be able to see it. Now, initially, I was using a different vinyl. It had Christmas trees on it that I found from Peachy Olive. But when I went to cut my vinyl, I accidentally took the entire piece of vinyl off instead of weeding in between, taking out the little pieces that I no longer needed. So I had to scrap that whole thing. And that's why I'm glad this same day that I was working on this tutorial, this vinyl came in, and it just made it all the more easier for me to get this completely done. So we are just going to peel back this transfer tape, and then we're going to move on to our cutouts. Now I offsetted this image, and then I offset the image, and then in silhouette space, what I did is I took the offset and then I clicked make, and that was able to give me the outline around the word and around these snowflakes as well. So it just made it look a little bit cooler because I really didn't want to see the raw edge of the vinyl. So I just made sure we had an offset around it so that you would be able to see, okay, that this is silver and this is what brings it all together. Next, you're going to go in with your cutting tool. This is for the bottom of tumblers. I will have that linked below as well. Love this cutting tool. I have never changed the blade on it, so that's why I'm having to kind of like rip this off and cut it with my X-Acto knife. I don't know what I did with the blades, so that's my fault. I have to go find them, and once I can find them, I will replace them. As a crafter, we just buy more stuff and buy more stuff. So we are going to make sure that all the pieces are completely removed. You are going to, after this, apply your pinstripes. I don't have an exact measurement just because I don't always want them small or large, so I kind of play back and forth with the sizes on the pinstripes that I use. Once we've figured out getting the edge completely worked out, getting those excess pieces cut off, we are going to move into applying the offsets to the tumbler. So here is where we start to apply the snowflake offset. It's a snowflake within the actual offset itself because I wanted to have like a trim around it. Same thing with the verbiage or the word that I used. Winter Wonderland. That Winter Wonderland I actually got off of Etsy. I found from a small business on Etsy. Loved it. Thought it was super cute. And I'm like, yes. So just so y'all understand what I was going for, it was going to be Winter Wonderland, and the trees, they were Christmas trees, but they were multicolored, like almost like rainbows. And that's where the idea came from. So I was super excited to like show y'all this. And then as soon as I'm going to do it, I completely bombed it because I ripped it off. So we're just going to anchor the Wonderland to the bottom, making sure that everything is lined up, and then just carefully either slide it on with your squeegee, or you can use your thumb and fingers as I did. Just go in and weed out those little pieces from the snowflakes because I didn't want to weed it while it was on the backing of the vinyl, just because I would have messed it up. So made it easier. We're going to go back in with our polyacrylic. You guys do not skip this step. This is very, very important to never skip when you are working with vinyl, especially any like holographic vinyls, because these things lift. It's like they have a mind of their own when we are going to work with them. So just make sure you use your polyacrylic or your quick coat to fill them in. I did a very thin coat of polyacrylic on this tumbler. So I let this sit for about 45 minutes. I kind of touched it every once in a while just to make sure it was dry, just because I didn't use a lot and it wasn't soaking into like any glitter. It was just to cover the vinyl. We're going to go over this with about 2 more coats of epoxy, and this is what you should have. I appreciate you guys all for being here. Thank you so much for showing my channel some love. If you would love to join a fun community, come and join us on Facebook at House of Tumblers, and I will talk to you guys all next week.